So, maybe you find yourself these days searching a ton of videos on YouTube about Poland, watching YouTubers, maybe such as myself, talking about the amazing things that you can find in this country, showcasing the culture, the food, the incredible sights that you can see, such as this one right here. This is the Vistula River, one of the most important rivers there is in Europe. Possibly you are now wondering, hey, how about this Poland? Could I live there? Maybe you're Polish and you moved many years ago and now you're wondering, could I go back? You know what? On this episode, I'm going to talk to you about why life in Poland is both easy and hard. Boom! Boom! Cześć ludzie! What's up people? Hola, JT here. Welcome to another episode. You guys have heard me say, it's on camera, I have it right there, that I believe Poland is going to be a leader in the region. It's going to be actually a leader and a major player in Europe. It's going to be a place where people will want to come. They will want to study, come on holidays, and they will start looking into possibly moving also, starting a life. It's already happening. Maybe you have a friend or a family member who left Poland many years ago and now they are thinking about it. They're like wondering, hey, what if we go back? I think we have it good here. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have hurdles to overcome. There are many things that we have to work on here. That's why I've made a list of 3 things that I think make life harder in this country. And then I'll tell you 3 things that make life easier. The first thing that will make your life harder here in Poland is Polish people. Should I drive myself to the airport already? Oh, Jesus, what am I doing? You guys know that I love Polish people. I've made many episodes where I'm highlighting the good things that they have. Like, there are endless episodes here on my YouTube channel. At the same time, you know, I've always been honest with you guys on my videos. I think that sometimes, well, oftentimes, Polish people make life harder for themselves and sometimes for others. It's as if they're trying to really complicate things a little bit more. Whenever you move to a new country, your experience there will be heavily influenced and affected by its people, the character that they possess, traits, behavioral patterns. And I believe that Polish people are very, very Polish. For example, impatient. They're very impatient. So if you go to the shop and you're trying to buy some groceries, what should be a simple experience just to go and get some bananas and stuff, it becomes a little bit of a anxiety-inducing experience because people around you are just trying to move on as fast as possible. And if you take 1 second because, oh my God, I forgot to weigh the bananas, I have to quickly go to the scale, people already have faces. And another thing is pessimism. It's a little bit difficult on a day-to-day to deal with this dark cloud of pessimism that hovers around people and eventually lands all over you. Oftentimes you're gonna hear comments like, oh, maybe you should not do that, this is not a good idea, and they're gonna list all the reasons why you might fail. There's also criticism, there's quite a lot of it here, but to be fair to Poles, they not only criticize others, they criticize themselves too. This idea that nothing is really perfect and we have to point out the flaws on things and on people. But the last thing in regards to Polish people that you should avoid at all costs, you should try as hard as you can not to get sucked into the vortex of melancholy. There are quite melancholic people. If you're not like that naturally, then you don't have the tools and the right valves to open and let all that pressure escape. And then you find yourself feeling more and more sad, as if your spirit has left your body. There are many, many great things about Poles. Like I said, I've mentioned them many times, but I wouldn't have been honest if I had not mentioned this thing. So, the second thing that makes life harder in Poland is all the bureaucracy. Whenever you move to a new country, your place of origin, and kind of like what you've had experience with before, will greatly influence how you're going to adapt to the new place. I come from the Dominican Republic. There's a lot of bureaucracy in the Dominican Republic. It seems like all the administrative things not only take forever, but it's like you have to call someone that knows someone else because they're not the ones in charge. And then once you go up the ladder or down the ladder 7 times, it turns out that the person that you needed to speak with was the first person you talked to. If you come from an organized place like, I don't know, Denmark, Sweden, right? Where they have everything very clearly planned, laid out in front of you. Here in Poland, there's a little bit of that Dominican beautiful bureaucracy. So everything urząd, the council, it's like 1 million steps, overcomplicated. If you are gonna fill a form, you have 100 options that are not really clear. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't speak the language, so it might be a little bit biased towards the negative, but my wife, bless her, is the one dealing with all of these things, and she tells me that she says like she's going to lay an egg out of anger. Because she is literally trying to understand what are the correct steps. They're asking her for some things, but then it turns out that that's not what they were asking, yada yada, blah blah blah. So there's no need to sugarcoat it. Here in Poland, there's gonna be a lot more bureaucracy. Be ready for that. It can make your life difficult. You're in for a world of surprises and headaches. The third reason why life in Poland can be hard, I had to include it here because of the relevance and the importance that it has and how much it can make or break your overall experience here. And that is language barrier. In Poland, you speak Polish, and it's a language that we know that it's quite difficult. I think it's literally one of the top 5, top 10 hardest languages to learn in the world. The biggest difficulty about Polish language is the inaccessibility that we have to Polish. It's a language spoken primarily in Poland, in this country, maybe in other countries where there's a minority of Polish people. Contrary to English, Spanish even, there are 21 countries in the world that have Spanish as a mother tongue. And you have probably even taken Spanish lessons in school. At the very least, you know some phrases and some words. So whenever you go to a country like Dominican Republic or Spain, you're gonna know how to say a couple things. Una cerveza, por favor. And you have no idea how much this affects your ability to integrate and to feel welcome. I'll give you a great example from my own life. I've been parking in the same spot when I go to the gym for half a year. And just some days ago, I got a ticket, and I'm like, why did I get a ticket? I've been parking here for all this time, and I don't see anything particularly new, nothing, no new signs. But lo and behold, at the gym, there was a sign in Polish that said that from December or January or whatever onwards, you had to put the registration of your car in some sort of tablet that the control guy would see it on his device that you are a client from the gym. So I got a ticket. 150 zloty. If I would have understood everything and known the language, I wouldn't have had that issue. It's very, very important that you try to learn this language. I have a message for all you Polish people watching me right now. Don't apologize for your language. Oftentimes I see on my comments, oh, I'm sorry that our Polish is so hard, you have to go through this. Hey, it's nothing. You have to just learn it. You want to live here? You want to enjoy the amazing things that this country has? Then learn the freaking language. Okay, enough of the negativity. Now, there are very important things that actually make life in Poland very easy, very interesting, and actually quite desirable. I want to start with one that might not be so obvious, and this is unexplored history. We all know about the Roman Empire. Doesn't matter your country. I'm sure they taught you about ancient Rome. Also, British monarchy and the British Empire. We all know about those things, right? Now, how much do you know about Slavic tribes? Did you also know that there was a fate-changing battle that took place in the year 1683 called the Battle of Vienna that prevented the Ottoman Empire from expanding deeper into Europe? There's so much to learn and so much to discover in a country like Poland. I think that because Poland never really became an uber empire and tried to control, subjugate, and dominate other countries, at least like the British Empire, the Spanish, Ottoman, Roman Empire did. The rest of the world doesn't have the same awareness and knowledge of Polish history, which to be honest, it just means that we have so much more to discover. So to me in particular, I think to many of you, that is a very, very, very big plus and something that makes living in Poland quite easy. The second reason why I think that living in Poland is actually very easy, and this one, once again, I will run the risk of sounding boring, but it's so important that I need to mention it, and that is safety. Never have I ever felt unsafe or in danger in this country. Really, honestly, I have never felt like my life could be in danger, or if I drop my son in school, that I am gonna be called or see on the news that there's a mass shooting somewhere. I'm not gonna start quoting numbers and tables. If you want to see the statistics, just go online and search them. It really does feel like a place where you can raise a family, where you can be on your own and not have to worry for your well-being, for your life. Coming to a place like this with expensive equipment, alone, nobody really around me, and just the occasional person walking by, I never feel like, man, what if they see this camera and they just want to quickly snatch it? When we were living in the UK, my wife saw a knife fight. Literally, one of the kids got stabbed. Another time we found in the middle of a park a car. Someone burned a car. Maybe they stole the car and they drove it into the middle of the park and it just burned. My point is not to tell you how Poland is amazing and all the other countries are This is not the truth. Many great countries in Europe and in the rest of the world that are also quite safe. Having lived in all the places that I've lived, I've never felt safer than I feel here in this country. If you don't feel safe in a place, it could be the coolest place in the world. And at the end of the day, you're not gonna have a good time. And the last reason why I think that it's incredible and easy to live here is because you feel that you're part of a change. Such a great feeling that you belong to a society that is constantly bettering themselves, trying to make where you live a better place. How can you define that? That is quite a subjective thing. What some people might see as growth and beneficial, to some others is just not attractive. The fact that Poland is becoming more international, the fact that Poland and Polish people are becoming a little bit more open, a little bit more Western. To some, this is not a good thing. This is something bad. I don't agree with that. I don't. I think that humans should hold on to their characteristics. They should hold on to their identity. But we are living in a world that is completely different from the world that we were living in 100 years ago. We're living in a world of globalization, of internationality. You're living in a world where our kids very possibly are going to speak several languages and they're gonna want to explore the world, and it's part of change. You can feel it in the air. Polish people like to progress, they like to grow. There's not a single story from the post-communistic era like the Polish story, and becoming the country that they have become today is something worth celebrating. Boom! That's all, guys. That's the end of the episode. I hope you liked it. Tell me, please, if you are a person, if you're a foreigner thinking about coming to Poland to live, first of all, tell me where you're from. Tell me why. What's your interest here? Is it love? Is it love? Are you a Polish person that has been living abroad? Let us know in the comments. Where have you been living? And why are you thinking about moving back here? I hope this video was, first of all, interesting. Second of all, somewhat informational. See you on the next episode. Papa.